Welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess. Welcome to the Tarp Report, the newest true crime podcast.
Oh my God! What
the world
you
has
were
ever seen.
you were really jumping head first into this, huh?
Well, they're gonna notice.
Well, yeah, but maybe we should.
Some things up.
Do you think we should try it out first?
We've been trying it out. It seems to be working. I think people like it. We'll talk about it after. We'll do what Zach said.
Just do what Zach said.
It's a true crime. We'll do the X-Files theme.
I never watched it.
So this is what I'm doing. I have a fascinating story from times past. Not this one. We're starting with this one.
Okay.
This is what we do now.
This is what we're going to. This is what we do, and we are going to do it.
And we're going to do it
in this moment right now.
Yeah.
You've done research. Okay, hold on. I'm excited because you've done research. Yeah. You've printed out things.
Highlighted them.
You've highlighted things.
Yep, and I still wrote jokes.
This is a level of dedication that we have not seen.
Because sometimes
from Sam.
Work can be a joy.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah. No, it's really not that.
You literally called me and said, I printed something. It was really easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, to print something?
Yeah. It was all really easy.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what we're going to learn today.
Mm-hmm. I have two stories for you.
Great.
This one took place in 1993.
Let's get into it before you shit your pants.
Why would I shit my pants?
You're just so excited.
I'm not that excited. I'm happy
about this article.
I think you're gonna like this.
So your excitement is
okay. And I had to black out this part because I had spoilers.
Oh, you did that.
That's called reverse. That's reverse highlighting.
That's so funny. I thought that like that was just like it printed bad.
No.
I get a shitty printer.
I did that.
That's so funny.
James Robert Scott grew up in Quincy, Illinois. By his 20s, he had a criminal record and had served time in 6 prisons.
Ooh.
So in his 20s, 6 prisons.
Okay, so do I have to take this? I mean, I don't have to take this seriously.
No, this is a true story. These are true stories.
All right, but okay.
Yeah, and I just you don't know what's going to happen yet,
obviously.
And that makes it funny.
Right.
Okay. I know where this is going.
His name is John.
James Robert Scott.
James Robert Scott in his
3
20s.
first names. That's a problem.
Always, yeah. Great Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy. I'm going to say his name, and his name was Harry Paul Dean.
Oh.
And he was not a good dude.
Harry
Paul Dean. Oh, we did call him. It was Job Corps. We called him Harry Balls Dean.
Yeah.
And we called him Narc a lot too, and he hated it.
Was he though?
Kind of. Unconfirmed.
Well, if he's not a narc, then yeah.
He seemed like somebody who was going to narc us off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never did anything illegal around him because we were concerned. In fact, we were on a fire.
You were the drug counselors?
Listen, we were on a fire one time. He worked in the Forest Service with us, and we were on a fire one time, and it was like his 20th birthday.
Yeah.
And my boss told us to get him a cake, and we had him write "Happy Birthday, Narc" on it, and he was so sad.
Yeah,
because he thought that we were like friends now.
Nice
I was not a nice guy.
That's really sad.
But think about that. By your 20s, 6 prisons. So to go to prison, you have to be there for over a year, and in your 20s. So by 29, he probably spent most of his 20s like in prison.
Okay, he's 29, not 20.
No, he's 29. By his 20s. So
by his 20s, he was okay, not by 20. I was like, how was he in 6 different prisons by the age of 20? That's insane.
Okay, well, most of these arrests were for burglary. They also included 2 for arson in 1982.
Okay.
He burned down his elementary school, Webster.
Oh, shit.
It's called Webster Elementary School in Quincy. And he also burned down a garage and set several other fires.
The garage, I understand. The elementary school, that's wild.
Yeah, and it says he burned it down. I don't think he
So it just doesn't exist anymore.
It could. I mean, this could be some bad information, but I am gonna act as if this is 100% true, and that's
of course you got it on the internet. Of course it's true.
Yeah. So, by 1993, Scott was out of prison on parole for the 1988 fire. He worked at a Burger King in Quincy and spent most of his nights drinking heavily.
Right? Get that?
Yeah.
You work at Burger King.
Yeah.
You're a fucking
He was really
ex-con.
he was having it his way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, this is not fair.
Why?
You get to write jokes. You're punching it up.
Dude, I wrote that on the spot. You think I wrote that before? You think I'm doing that much work that I'm going to sit and write jokes?
Yeah.
You think that I can just come up with funny things to say?
Yes.
Fuck you, Jess. You know what? Okay, we got a good thing going here.
Yeah.
I was going to do my thing where I get pretend mad at Jess. But this is new, Sam.
New podcast.
I'm going to get
Hi.
I'm going to pretend to like Jess instead of pretend to get mad at Jess.
Hi.
He lived in the nearby town of Fowler with his wife, Susie.
Where's that? Where are they?
They're in Illinois.
Illinois.
Mm-hmm. They're in Illinois. They're across the, this is where it gets wild. During flooding on the Mississippi River in 1993. Do you remember when the Mississippi River used to flood? You're kind of younger. You're younger
In
than
1993? No.
Yeah. How old are
I was like 9.
you? Were 9. Okay. So I remember being a kid and the Mississippi River used to flood. I was like 11, I guess. So I think I'm 2 years older than you. But anyway, the Mississippi River used to flood a lot. And from what I understand, they have like better dams to like control it and like a levee system and whatnot. Anyway, the Scotts, along with several other residents living in and around Quincy and Hannibal, spent much of mid-July reinforcing the West Quincy levee. Now, do you know much about levees?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm asking you.
First of all, when you said the Scots, I thought that you were being derogatory.
What?
Like the Scots.
That's their name. Oh, no, not the Scottish people. No. They are probably Scottish, though. There's a good chance.
And it took me a second to bounce back into the story. Second, do I know anything about levees?
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
No, Sam, I don't know fucking shit. Just what beavers.
Well, that's fine. Just say
the only
no.
thing that I know
you don't have to be mad.
Is what beavers have taught me.
Beavers don't make levees; they make
That's
dams. Levees and dams are different. You put levees on the side. You put levees on the sides of rivers so they don't flood into places.
Like a dam.
Like a dam, but on the side of the river. It's not like a dam's like a shoe, and a levee is like a tube sock. It's like a sock. That's actually a great description of a levee.
I have no idea.
Do you get what they are now?
A levee is the thing that holds the water.
Keeps the water in the river.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have a huge
And if you
system
open the
of levees.
levee.
If the levee breaks, do you remember that Led
TV
Zeppelin
show?
song? No. When the levee breaks, the Led Zeppelin song?
No, I never got into Led Zeppelin.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry.
God, that was really, I hope.
Yeah, you were talking about being mean. You could have just said, okay.
No, I was, but it's just like when you double don't know something.
Yeah, it's like
when
it's one thing for you to be ignorant. It's one thing for you to be really ignorant.
No, ignorant twice. Okay. So they spent a lot of mid-July reinforcing that levee in their town. Okay. And the levee is stopping.
This was a good thing.
Yes, the levee is stopping the floodwater to get into the town.
Don't yell at me when I'm asking. I'm trying to understand because this could be something. He's a fucking ex-con. He might be doing some facetious bad shit over here.
Whoa.
Oh.
Something's gonna happen.
I don't trust this guy.
This is a true crime podcast.
I don't. Yeah.
There will be crime.
I'm suspenseful. I know something.
I know. Isn't this fun?
I knew something
We
bad's
should have
gonna
done this
happen.
a long time ago. We should have always had the podcast be about something.
I wish Brittany would have brought that up sooner.
I know. We did a fucking 100 episodes.
It was literally blind.
Nothing. Anyway. Okay. They spent much of mid-July reinforcing the West Coast. By July 16th, the river had stopped rising and had dropped 1.5 feet below the levee.
Okay.
That night, however, the levee unexpectedly failed when the river burst through its main stem.
Oh.
The resulting flood inundated 14,000 acres on the Missouri side of the river In one incident, a barge was sucked into the levee and slammed into a gas station, causing a fire. So the levee has broken. Because what happens if a little bit of water like goes over it, then it'll carve it out and make it bigger and bigger. You see what I'm saying?
And James Earl Jones, he did something.
What? What are you talking about?
He did something. I don't trust that guy. I told you I didn't trust that guy.
Oh, yeah. James Robert Scott.
Right.
Yeah, that's James Earl Jones. Wait, James Earl Jones just died. He was Darth Vader.
R.I.P. Did he die when the levee broke?
No, he's just really old.
Oh.
Sad. Anyway, the flood washed out all the bridges in the area. The only links across the river for 200 miles. Okay. Whoa. While no one was killed, many people on the Missouri side of the river had to drive 80 miles to either St. Louis or Burlington, Iowa, fly, or take a ferry to get across the river for several weeks after the water receded. Damn. One major bridge, the Bayview Bridge, was out of service for 71 days. Several businesses in West Quincy were also destroyed, most of which have never returned.
Wow.
So this levee break-in really jacked it up.
Yeah, so James was like, oh, man, we want to make sure nothing happens to this levee. And then, surprise, surprise, something happened to it. The levee. Oh, this man, my goodness. You're not going to get anything past
He's a big levee supporter.
Yeah.
Right now.
A big levee man.
Yeah. Levee it to James.
Jesus
to
Christ.
The levee. He's a levee lover. See, you know I didn't write that beforehand because it's too good. It's just off the dome.
Yeah, it's too good.
Levee lover.
It's too good.
That's what they call me. You know what I say about levees? I say levee it, leave them alone. Levee them alone. There goes the pen. Okay. Now I can't throw it again because it's on the ground.
Thank God.
And you know I hate bending down to pick things up.
I know you never would.
Because I'm fat.
You never would.
I'm fat. You're skinny.
Okay.
That's the thing about us. That's the thing about us.
That's why this works.
That's why it works. Reporter Michelle McCormack of WGEM-TV, the NBC affiliate in Quincy, was told by two Department of Transport workers at the edge of the bridge that a man standing close by was first on the scene.
Oh, I bet he was.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Who was that wonderful?
She walked up to him and Scott volunteered. He's like, hey, are you a news person? I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I got something to say.
Yeah, I gotta believe this levee broke. So he volunteered to do a live interview with her and photographer Rick Junkerman.
Can we just do like an entire segment on criminals who have then gone on to do news?
That are on the news.
I like either incriminating themselves.
We don't know if he's a criminal yet.
No. I'm right. You're right.
Yeah.
But
we should.
Like
it's the best. It's the biggest flex. Be like, man, like it's crazy this murder happened.
That's so wild. And you're just like blood all over your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy.
I was eating a blood sandwich earlier.
If only we could figure out who did this.
Who? Whom? Who or what? Who or what? See, that's what I always say. Somebody steals a car and they're like, who stole this car? I'm like, what stole this car?
You mean whom? Okay.
I love this so much. Scott said that he had seen a weak spot on the levee and tried to put more sandbags along it. He then said he went for a drink only to come back and discover the levee had let go.
The levee let go.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He then helped the Coast Guard load boats into the floodwaters. In a second interview with McCormick at his home, which aired after his arrest, he told a similar story.
So a real hero, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
A real, prison did exactly what it was supposed to do for him.
He did the same story twice, which was cool. And he helped them load the boats. The Coast Guard load the boats.
He did the same story twice, which was cool.
Yeah, that's smart if you're going to tell a story.
I literally just watched 12 episodes of interrogation videos.
Oh, dude, my wife loves those.
Oh, they're so good. And it's just people are so...
I can't. Oh. That shit stress. It's funny. You're going to hate this because like I can't do that stuff because it stresses me out because like cops and their tricks, like I can't figure it out.
Well, really?
Yeah, like I just never said shit because I
smart.
knew like if I talked to them, like it would be trash. And if I did say anything, I was just saying heinous things to them about who they were and what they did.
Well, it's just fascinating to see the people who like think that they are smarter than like these fucking police and like these like FBI agents who like have been, you know, they know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, people have
like,
it in their mind that the cops like have to tell you the truth.
Right.
And like they anyway.
Yeah.
Scott's account. Here we go. I love this.
Okay.
Scott's account of the flood sounded suspicious to Neil Baker, a sergeant with the Quincy Police Department.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Baker was familiar with Scott. He had arrested Scott for the 1982 and 1988 arsons while he was a patrolman. For one thing, Baker noticed that Scott looked too clean to have been working on a levee all day. He also had trouble recalling simple details on working on the levee. He also noticed that Scott was not wearing a life jacket.
Oh, well.
Which I don't get.
Was he a strong swimmer?
I assume so.
Everybody
I see without a life jacket on, I assume they can swim.
Strong swimmer. Because he wasn't wearing a life jacket, like when
I don't get that part. Like
when the flood was going.
Yeah, or like when he was working on the levee. Like he said he was working, like, so I think he got there before the news team did.
Right.
And if you're working on the levee, you're going to be wearing a life jacket because when you're working on the levee is when it can break. And so I get it, I guess. That's probably what happened.
That makes sense.
Missouri authorities were also suspicious. The levee had failed at one of its strongest points, and that area had been inspected 2 hours earlier. Although later, this is where there is some, by the way, there is some doubt, okay?
Okay.
Although later, 2 independent soil science experts testified there was strong evidence that the levee failed due to natural causes. They became even more suspicious when they found out about Scott's extensive criminal record, including the arsons.
Yeah.
Because arsonists are not trustworthy.
Well, I don't think a lot of criminals are.
No, but specifically arsonists. Like, it seems like they're some of the worst
you think that
people
like,
to trust.
They're like a specific kind of criminal?
Yeah, I think arsonists are like a cut above
like a
regular crime. Like I've done some bad shit, but I've never been like, I'm gonna burn
this
down
shit to the ground.
This shit down. Like I've played with fire and almost burnt stuff down.
Yeah.
On accident. I wonder how many arsonists are just like
whoops.
Real.
I got into it on accident.
Whoopsie daisy with fire. Maybe they're just careless with fire.
Yeah. Like, I didn't.
You know what I used to do? My dad had spray deodorant, Guard, and I would spray it in the sink and I would light it and it'd make a cool blue flame. And I thought it smelled really good.
Well, it does smell.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm making that face.
We used to do it with hairspray.
Yeah. Yeah. But I wouldn't spray I wouldn't make a torch. I mean, I did that a few times, but I would like spray it all over. It was really fun. That's why I'm terrified that I have boys now because they're like 11 and 13 and I know they're playing with fire. Yeah. I just hope they aren't arsonists.
Yeah, you just hope they don't keep playing with fire.
Okay. Easy. Adams County, Illinois. Sorry, I lost where I was. It's hard because everything's highlighted. Adams County, Illinois Sheriff's Department deputies questioned him a week after the flood, and he was unable to keep his story straight.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, everything starts falling apart. On October 1st, Quincy police arrested Scott on an unrelated burglary charge.
Jesus.
During questioning, now this is the thing where this comes into your videos, like they're questioning him about this burglary, right? So during questioning,
what do you know about the levee breaking?
He admitted to pulling 4 sandbags from one portion of the levee and moving them to the trouble spot he claimed to have seen. He told police, "Oh, I love this. My town was in trouble. The folks in Quincy and in West Quincy were about to lose everything. That's why I went down to that levee. I had no plans to hurt anything. They needed help, so I helped."
A real hero.
Yeah, so he says he moved stuff from the strong part of the levee to like a weaker part of the levee. While he denied any intent to cause any harm, he said, "I didn't mean to cause the problem, but I did. I'm up Shit Creek."
Yeah.
And Shit Creek just flooded the town.
I was just, the levee broke on Shit Creek.
Levee broke on Shit Creek. Now, this is the thing, and I'm going to say this. If we're going to do this and we're going to talk about this, I want to say that I do not trust law enforcement, and I do not trust judges, and I do not trust prosecutors. Yeah. I think there's a very good chance that he was coerced into making this testimony. People get coerced into admitting all kinds of shit because they're tricky cops. And I don't know all that much about who James Robert Scott is, but he might be a person that's easily tricked.
He also might be a person who fucking dicked around with the levee and broke it and almost killed the entire town.
Yeah. Dude, just wait. So, we are not done with Revelation.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't mean to cause a problem, but I did. I'm up Shit Creek. He was released after an hour and a half. They didn't charge him with that. However, he was convicted of burglary in January 1994 and sentenced to 10 years in prison, which is crazy because he had a bunch of priors to get 10 years for a burglary charge. All right. Meanwhile, authorities on both sides of the river joined federal authorities to investigate the case. Their investigation eventually led to Joe Flax, an old friend of Scott's. Flax told authorities that Scott had told him he had broken the levee.
On accident.
No.
Oh, shit.
Flax told authorities that Scott had told him he had broken the levee so he could strand his wife Susie on the Missouri side of the river.
Oh, shit. I mean, it's always about a girl.
It is.
It's always about a woman.
It is.
So he wanted her to
be on the other side of the on the Missouri side. He was in the Illinois side.
Right.
And
that's hilarious.
I love it.
Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
She was like, "No, come hell or high water, I'm not leaving."
Yeah, there's a river. Sometimes I feel like there's a river between us.
You think there is?
And it's getting bigger all the time. Oh my God. Susie worked as a waitress at a truck stop in Taylor, Missouri.
Oh Lord, Susie.
Listen. As the story went, you're gonna love this. As the story went, Scott wanted to be free to party, fish, and have an affair.
Yes. Well, it wouldn't even be an affair if Susie was on the other side of the river.
Yeah, and it'll be easier to fish because the river's
so much more
your
water.
House. Yeah, there's so much more water everywhere. Investigators subsequently found other witness who said Scott boasted about breaking the levee at a party after the flood.
When he was there with his affair partner.
See, this is the shit that blows me away. Is like, who are you bragging to about this?
And
it could be bullshit. We got to say that. Like,
it's not bullshit.
No, it could be.
He could just be bragging about it?
Yeah.
You think he could just be like boasting, but like why would they're already questioning you?
Because what I think happens, it's like it's that bias that can occur. It's like confirmation bias. So like a bunch of people know this dude's a piece of shit. He probably broke into their friend's house. And then one person is like, "Oh yeah, he told me he broke the levee," because they already heard that he had broken the levee. Like the word's out in town that he broke the levee. And then a bunch more people are like, "Oh yeah, he told me that too. He told me that too.
He told me on Saturday."
Because it's all hearsay shit is what
they're like, he's in prison on Saturday.
And I think we'll talk about it at the end, and I'll say what I think happened.
Okay.
Anyway, based on this evidence, Scott was taken to Missouri for trial in November 1994. Scott was tried under a 1979 Missouri law that made it a crime to intentionally cause a catastrophe, which you'd think there'd be a crime for already.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't get hit with that back when he burnt down that elementary school.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to define it, but I think this has to be something that there's not already a crime for.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because arson's arson. Because if you make everything like, "Oh, I'm charging you with making a catastrophe," and then arson's like, "What about me?
Catastrophic.
What about all arson? I used to be in charge.
Yeah,
I'd be perfect for this."
We would never want arson to get depressed,
relegated.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You like my impression of arson?
Yeah. Hey. I was thinking that was fire.
Like it was fire.
Yeah, I could tell.
I love you. Yeah, I changed my mind.
That improv class that you took is fucking shining through.
I thought this was the improv class. Anyway, the law codified in section 569 of the Missouri Revised Statutes defined a catastrophe as death or serious physical injury to 10 or more people, or substantial damage to 5 or more buildings or inhabitable structures, or substantial damage to a vital public facility which seriously impairs its usefulness or operation.
So that's why the elementary school doesn't count.
Yeah, nobody needed that. Anyway, due to publicity, the trial took place in Kirksville, 68 miles away. Prosecutors and investigators believe that Scott either removed or cut the plastic sheets covering the levee, then burrowed through the sand until the water rushed in.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff happened at the trial. There was people that said he did it, people that said he didn't do it. Some people said it failed on its own. After a 3-day trial, the jury deliberated for 4 hours and then convicted Scott of causing a catastrophe. A month later, he was sentenced to 10 years to life in prison to run consecutively with his 10-year burglary sentence in Illinois. I can't remember. There's concurrent and there's consecutive. I know concurrent, if it runs concurrently, if you have 2 charges and you get 10 years for each of them, you're going to do 10 years in prison because they run concurrently. Consecutively means you're doing both of those. So he's going to do 20 years. So I do know, actually. Now I remember. Anyway, Scott appealed, and on February 25th, 1997, the Missouri Court of Appeals threw out the conviction.
Oh, shit.
Due to prosecutorial misconduct.
What?
Yeah. Prosecutors had not told the defense about 2 witnesses who reportedly heard Scott say that he had deliberately broken a levee, which is, back to my point, like some sketchy shit. Like, basically, he didn't give Scott's defense team the chance to interview these witnesses. Yeah. He was retried in 1998 and convicted a second time after 3 hours of deliberation on April 30th. The original sentence was reinstated on July 6th. Among those who testified against James Scott was Norman Hare, then president of the Fabius River Drainage District and the largest owner of land on the Missouri side of the river directly affected by the flood. Now check this out. According to a Vice News documentary, Hare received an insurance payout for damages caused to his land, although he did not have flood insurance. Since the flood was determined to have been caused by vandalism rather than a natural disaster, Hare was able to collect on his homeowner's insurance. Hare did not disclose his financial interest in Scott's conviction at his trial. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, isn't that everyone, though? It wasn't just him who would benefit from that.
I think he had most of the stuff over there that got flooded. Which checks out.
But I don't blame him if, like, somebody fucking flooded my land. I would definitely want.
But that's what I'm saying.
Give me the money, baby. Give me the money. You owe me.
Nothing. I do not. I think that he probably did it. But I would say, if I had to put a number on it, 80% chance that he messed up that levee just to strand his wife and to be a shithead.
Well, I mean, he said that's what
because I think he did. Actually, you know what? I changed it. 87%, because I almost positive he did those arsons.
Yeah.
And breaking a levee is like water arson.
Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except for going up, it goes.
You know what I thought?
Everywhere.
Maybe he did an arson and felt bad, and then he broke the levee to put out the fire that he just set. You ever think about that? Or
like the all of the past fires. He's like, I've done so much. I really need to put all of this out.
Maybe he's just trying to find balance.
Yeah. It's like a little too late, buddy. A little too late.
I think that's the move. So
well, yeah, he sounds like a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's hilarious. He acted on his own, though. That's impressive.
I know. That's what I think too. Like when I read stuff like this and I hear stuff like this, I'm conflicted because like it is inherently like funny, but also like that could have been really bad. People could have died.
Yeah.
It's so jacked up. But the idea of wanting to fish, drink, and have an
cheat
affair
on your wife,
and to break a levee and flood what was it? 49,000 acres, which is a ridiculous amount of property.
Yeah. The bad thoughts won.
Yeah.
That day.
You know, some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to punch my kid right in the face.
But you don't ever do it.
Yeah.
But this guy did. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like breaking dams and stuff, like little ones.
I've never had the thrill.
The thrill
of breaking a dam.
Yeah.
The insurance thing did remind me that I think in a couple of days they're supposed to be having some sort of trial for mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but
for those unaware, Jess's mom
I have my own true crime.
Passed away. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't just grab that one.
Yeah.
Like I could have been I'm like a lady.
That would be funny.
Was killed at work.
Yeah.
Jess's mom got killed with a laser at work in a not funny laser kind of way. Like there's funny lasers and there's not funny lasers. Like there's
the ha-ha. It wasn't the ha-ha one.
Yeah. I tell people about it.
The ha-ha one?
No, I tell people about the laser thing, and I don't think it's that.
Bring up awareness?
There's a lot of industrial lasers. But there's only one
There's only one that killed my mom. That's one.
That's wild. So there's like a trial or like some kind of like
some court thing.
I bet it's a finding. Well, I bet the findings of an investigation are going to come out.
I don't think it's a trial yet.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a trial. You would know if it was a trial. When are you going to find out?
I just need to look back at my messages and
did it already come out?
No, it's supposed to be in the next couple of days.
Wow.
I know it's in October.
How do you feel about it?
Like my sister does not want to know anything, but like I do. So I'm like I'm interested to see what we find out, what happened.
Yeah. It makes me a little ill thinking about you knowing about all that.
Yeah.
I've never talked about this with you before, I don't think, but I was there when I was 12. Like I was there when my dad died when I was 12. My dad passed away and learned a lot that day about dying and like what it looks like and what it sounds like. And yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of dying.
Yeah.
And like it's weird because like it's almost, I look at it almost the same way as like pregnancy and stuff because don't look at me.
Go on.
No, I knew that when I said that because it's something so amazing but so common. In fact, dying is the most common thing that everybody does.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was there when he died and
I didn't know that.
It was, I don't know. It was so strange because the hardest part for me was watching my dad go from strong dad to in a coma.
Right.
And that happened very, very quickly. And the smell of the hospital, I'll never forget that. Right. Can't stand that smell. But yeah, and me and my whole family was around and they did. They took him off the ventilator. He tried to breathe on his own a little bit. And then there was a time where he stopped and we thought that was it. And then he kind of came back. And then there was like the rattle. Yeah. I got to hear that.
Fun.
Yeah. And it was, it was really hard. It was really hard. And it was what's funny too is that I didn't think about this. Like everybody focuses on like how sad it was. And yes, very, very sad. But also how insane it was.
You mean
and
gross?
No, not gross. It wasn't really gross. Just how bonkers. And like, I kept thinking about myself in like the third person. And I'd be like, cause I couldn't take in that much information and that much emotion. So I would think about myself in the third person. I'd be like, wow, like now I'm the kid with the dead dad.
Yeah.
Like I'm the kid. Like I'm not the weird kid. I'm not the loud kid. I'm not the fat kid. I mean, I still was weird, loud, fat.
All of those things.
Yeah, I was all those things. But to immediately go from like dead dad kid.
Yeah.
you know. And it was also weird because I think when other kids interacted with me, they couldn't help but imagine what it would be like if their dad died.
Right.
So it was, I don't know. So that's my thing. I didn't mean to just like hijack this, but like that would be my thing with you, is that what is important, I think, is like your feelings for your mom. And also like if you want to know like the cause and like who, because I'm curious, like, do you want to know like what actually like physically like what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to find out both. I want to know both.
Yeah. And who let her use that machine, or what the machine?
What happened? That's what happened.
See, I just worry about like hijinks and shit. And I know that you're probably worried about that too. That who is to blame?
Right.
And if somebody is pushing that blame someplace else, like that terrifies me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll to be determined.
Yeah, yeah. I did comedy at a Cocaine Anonymous show.
Yeah.
And loved it.
It was
almost had you come up.
I know.
I kind of wish I should have told you just to do it.
Yeah. I know. I
should have told you just
to do it.
Well, I didn't know if you'd be able to do time, but it would have been so cool to have you there, whether or not you did time, and you would have had a good time doing time.
I was like, "What do you mean? I can do. Yeah. I can do clean."
Yeah, and also I just want to say too,
write this down.
They paid me in cash, which cracked me up. Which is the most Cocaine Anonymous shit ever.
I think that's by design.
I'm worried why you wrote that down.
I can't tell you.
Huh?
I can't tell you on the podcast, but I would just have to remember.
I think I know why, and I think it might have had something to do with it.
It's impossible.
You'll see. We'll talk. Okay.
Wait, unless you did it. Did you? Was it you?
Yeah.
Are you poop pee pants?
Yeah.
I knew that was you.
You did not know it was me.
I didn't know it was you, but I knew it was someone.
I sent Jess a fake booking email.
It was you?
Yeah. It was well done.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't?
It wasn't.
Did you like it?
I was like, well,
did it make you laugh?
No, it
make
genuinely
you paranoid?
Stressed me out.
Oh,
it really
no!
fucking did. Are you kidding me?
I
was like trying to figure out who did this.
I thought I made it so ridiculous.
If it were actually that person, I was
my God,
what
would
the
not
fuck?
Be.
And then I looked at the email and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I think I'm getting fucked with.
I wrote Jess a fake email.
Booking
email.
Yes.
And it stressed her out.
Yes, it did.
Now I feel bad, but not.
No, you're fine.
Because that was pretty funny.
I was like, who still has a Hotmail account? I was like, it has to be him because he has who still has a Hotmail account?
I think he does probably.
But then I was like, no. Yeah. But then they were like, go ahead.
You are good to go.
But then they were like, oh yeah, I guess it doesn't, because Dane and I were like trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. We were like, but
oh my God. Now I feel bad.
I got the whole team. I got everyone involved. Like
really?
Brandon and Chandler. I'm like, you guys, look at this fucking shit.
I was just bored. I was trying to be funny.
The thing that made me think that it was that person was how long have you been doing comedy? Longer than you, Jess. And I was like,
I was trying to think about what he would say. That actually
sounds a lot. And I was like, that condescending, that would 100%.
But I thought you figured out, because I went from both like super like.
How would I know that?
Begging. I was like begging you for work, but also condescending. I thought you would have easily seen that was like not a real person. And also that person would never.
I was trying to figure out who I pissed off.
You could be the only comedy club in the country still operating and they would not hit you up. Are you kidding me? All that person has is pride. And they don't have much to be proud of. So,
you son of a bitch. You did get me.
Okay, I didn't mean to. We'll talk about it after the podcast. My shit's blowing up again, which is nice.
My shit's blowing up.
Yeah. I talked to my therapist a couple days ago.
Your therapist shit?
Yeah, my therapist is blowing up.
Mental health is blowing up?
No, my social media is blowing up again, which is nice.
That's awesome.
It's good. I've gained About 3,500, 4,000 followers in the last 5 or 6 days. Went from 119 to 123.
No big deal.
Going up a lot now. Mostly on Facebook, but also Instagram too. Happy. Thing I talked to my therapist about is it when it wasn't going well for a long time and I just kind of like was treading water.
Yeah.
That I never got too sad when that was going on. And I'm also going to try not to get too like happy that it's happening now. Like I can be like fulfilled and whatever, but what's important is the like the offstage stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I broke your heart.
No, you didn't.
Earlier.
When?
With the you did not make it into the Seattle International comedy competition. I did something stupid. Just tell me.
Yeah, you did. You did. You called to congratulate Lynette, who did get in. And
I don't even know if that was like I don't know if that was like what predicated that call.
And I was like, oh, I guess you're calling not to not calling to congratulate me. And you were like, no.
Oh no, because I was calling you to tell you that you didn't have to put it on the podcast because they had announced who people knew. See, I actually don't feel that bad about it because there's no way I could have, you know what I mean? Like, no. I feel bad because I like you a lot and that made you really sad. So.
No, it was fine. You leaving? Okay. You're okay? Okay.
Tell Emily I said hi and in a really cool way. What do kids say these days? They just say hi. Oh, okay, cool.
Like you wrote it down and everything.
I know. Bye. Yeah. I was like, God, I'm going to sound like a weirdo.
Yeah, and you did. You sounded exactly like a weirdo.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry though.
I didn't get into sick because comedy competitions suck,
Seattle
and I
International
suck
Comedy
at them.
Competition. No,
even though I don't know why I didn't get into sick. I don't know.
I know why. Because you got to
comedy
do
is subjective.
No, it's just it takes. Because it's hard, and you got.
Don't tell me that it takes so many years because that's not true.
What do you mean?
There's not like a time limit on it.
No, but it's really rare for anybody with less than 5 years to get into that competition.
Yeah.
Rare.
Right.
When I did it the first time, I've been doing comedy about 1.5 years. But I am rare.
Jesus Christ. Anyway. Whatever. The worst part is
Stop, don't cry.
I'm not crying, you son of a bitch.
That is something somebody not crying would say.
My eyeballs hurt.
Oh, okay. You have something like on your eyelash.
Oh.
It looks like a booger.
Which one?
No, you got it.
Oh.
I should have told you when you got it instead of just
Yeah.
But anyway,
I did it. It's fine. But I put in for another comedy competition today, so fuck it, whatever.
Here's the thing.
I'll just keep trying.
We talked about it last podcast. We'll talk about it this time. It's not okay. Comedy stays hard and it stays stupid and it stays cruel, but it stays wonderful and it stays beautiful. And you've had so many amazing opportunities. And if I made you list out right now, like how much awesome shit has happened in your career in the last year, I bet if you looked at that fucking list, you'd probably feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel fine. It's just,
because
nobody likes being judged.
I feel like I'll let myself feel miserable before I'll let you feel miserable about this shit. You're doing fucking great.
No, I don't feel miserable about it. And even when I do for a little bit, I don't I know where I'm at. Like I'm realistic about it's only been 3 years.
I talked about this with Lynette the other day because you guys are both in a similar phase, but you're at the beginning of that phase and she's more towards the end of that phase. Okay. You're in a moment where you have a decent chunk of time of comedy that you can do. And now you're refining it and you're adding to it and refining it and adding to it and taking stuff away and adding to it. And and then you have your set and you can do a set. Right. And then you start taking out big chunks and adding, you know what I mean?
Right.
It takes a long time to get comfortable. So
yeah.
Anyway, you said you had a slow week?
Yep, that's it.
What do you mean?
I have a slow week.
You guys didn't do any?
Yeah, I don't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
My September was really, really busy, and then I have stuff all the weekends this month. Good. I know, but like
that's when comedy usually happens.
I know, which is awesome.
And you're getting booked by Bark. You're doing well. So
I have Jay Moore this weekend.
Yeah, that's sick.
I know.
Oh my God, you're hosting the biggest comedy club in the Northwest.
I know. I'm not upset. You're the one who's saying that I'm upset. I'm not upset.
Good. Then I don't feel bad. I'm not
the only thing I was upset about is how loose your lips were with fucking information.
What?
Nothing.
It's not that bad. I wrote jokes.
Wrote jokes.
It was hard to write jokes because I stopped and picked this Popeyes, and I wanted to eat my Popeyes, and it was really hard to write jokes instead of eat my Popeyes.
Yeah, I know, bud.
Because I can't eat.
Can't do both. I can't eat and think.
Oh man, and I don't know. I thought they were good, but
wow, they must be fucking great.
I don't know. Now I don't know. In the moment,
I can't believe you.
I wrote them when I was hungry.
Okay. Joke number 1. I hate it when you get broken up with and somebody will be like, there's a lot of other fish in the sea. Like, have you seen those other fish?
Yeah, fish?
Oh, have you seen some of those fish?
Have you seen some of those fish? Blobwood?
What a
Puffer
whale
ones?
fish? I mean, a beluga whale. That's your favorite.
What is wrong with you? Because I like big women. You know what?
What?
You're going to... Oh, yeah, because we talked about it last week.
Yeah, you dumb. What are you talking about?
People won't know that. I do like big fish.
No, you do you like big fish?
I do. I like bigger fish.
But not beluga. That's too big.
It's not a fish. It's a whale. It's a whale. Breathes air. Mammal. God.
It is not. Stop.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't even breathe air.
This was better when it was a true crime podcast 10 minutes ago.
Okay, joke number 2.
Joke 2.
I did a crappy show at a Chinese restaurant and somebody actually threw chopsticks at me.
True story.
But on the plus side, she licked them off first.
That is a true story. Somebody threw chopsticks at me at a Chinese restaurant, but she licked them off and then threw them at me, which was nice because I didn't want to get sauce on me. She licked the sauce off.
Oh. Thought it was sexual.
No. I can see how you think that's not a good joke because it leads a lot to imagination.
Joke number 3. If I really don't want to get eaten by a bear, I really don't want to get eaten by a bear. So if you're a bear and you're listening to this podcast right now, that's really weird.
Yeah, you should be eating berries.
If you're a bear and you're listening right now,
don't eat me. But also, why are you doing a podcast, bear?
How did this happen again?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Did you like that one? That was a good one.
It was fine.
Yeah. It was silly and fun and quirky.
Light.
This podcast has really had it all.
Yeah.
True crime, dead moms,
weird bears,
insecurities.
Joke number 4. It's really hard not to be emotional about feeling.
It is hard to be non-emotional about feeling.
It is hard.
Do you like that one?
Yeah. I actually did like that one. That one was fine.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute joke. It's been a cute podcast.
It's cute. It was cute.
Yeah, we're cute.
It was cute. I liked it. It was cute.
I just scratched my nose aggressively.
A lot.
Sometimes I scratch my nose and it like cracks all weird. I'm like, was that like my brain?
Jesus Christ.
All that stuff's connected, dude. Dude.
I don't know if you guys know or not, but we did a nighttime podcast again, and that's our fault. That's our fault.
This is fun. I love this podcast. I just want you to know we're going to talk
our
about
new true crime podcast.
Yeah,
the Tarp report.
It's been happening.
Covers everything.
You know what's funny is I had
true crime.
I had 2 stories. And we
only did one,
and we only needed one of them because the first one went 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, we learned a lot about James Earl
Jones. I didn't break the levee. Luke, I want to fish and drink and fuck this other lady.
My wife.
Luke.
Yeah.
I did the arsons, but not the reverse water arsons.
Yeah. Who started the fire?
Yeah. We didn't start the fire. We broke the levee. Or maybe I did it. There was a guy who got insurance money. If you ask me, rich people are to blame for all.
I know you got really upset about the insurance guy.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
You're just mad because he wants he wants to recoup what he lost.
Yeah, well, he already has enough.
How do you know he doesn't have shit now? It all got washed away.
Mm. You can still use land after it gets wet. Just gotta wait for it to dry off. Duh.
Farmer Sam.
Yeah. Just wait for that land to dry off.
I think that
I don't give a shit about no levee.
Yeah, that applies to everything.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yeah.
I hope you levied this podcast as much as I levied making it. Thank you for listening. Your new favorite true crime podcast. We really are done. Bye.